I'm gonna record it on my computer. Once it's recorded, then I'll send it. It's recording now.
Okay.
Right. Very smart. Very smart. And once it buffer, I'll send it back. I'll send it to you, so you'll be able to view it. So yeah, that's what we want to. That's why it's so important to be authentic to you and not aspire to be somebody else, but find some of those correlations or connections that have other people living this way to the best of their ability. What I mean by saying that is going a little bit back to the disc. Some people may aspire to want to be like Jordan, but they are high S. And some people will teach it, or the world says, then you need to be a high D, you need to be a high I, you need to be more out there. Okay. If Iron Man and Michael Jordan are the pinnacle of a high D and a high I, and on the other spectrum, remembering from the class that I taught last Saturday, and I was going through the slides, on the other side of that, with the S and the C, we could see Einstein and we saw Bill Gates. I guarantee you, Michael Jordan does not want to be Einstein or Bill Gates. And Bill Gates and Einstein do not want to be Michael Jordan or Kobe. You feel me? They know who they are and they comfortable there. They're aware of their ability and they operated to the fullness there was in it. And that's what brought them to the highest level that they both are at. So when you embrace who you are, get the skill set, get the understanding of it to be able to be a dimmer switch, be able to turn it on when you need to, turn it down at your will, not somebody else making you, but you don't digress. And that's what happens in the DISC assessment, the power assessment, is that if you are high S, something made you go down. How somebody affected you in that area, whether it's at home, work, how you're being viewed or how you're being looked at, it can make you go down or go up. You know what I'm saying? And so you're not being authentically you and you're trying to perform to something else. So when we know what you are, what your values are, and what your drivers are, you need to learn to stay there and embrace that. Because like I said, I know Bill Gates do not want to be Jordan. He ain't trying to talk about going down the court, sweating and crossing over somebody and dunking on them. He like, that is not me. and Michael Jordan sitting in the boardroom doing a whole bunch of TED Talks, getting paid for his thinking. It ain't happening.
True.
It ain't happening. So when we learn who we are and we embrace it, we're going to take ourselves to a whole nother level of confidence, self-awareness, prosperity, happiness, joy, all of that. So that's why it's so important not to change it. Stay who you are, learn to embrace it. That's why my thing was, when I started getting the training of it and I came up with my company, it was see it, say it, seize it. Once I see it, and then I can say it, I can speak to it, meaning I have embraced it. To see it, I recognize it. It's no longer foreign to me or strange. I recognize my own behaviors. I can see it. I learned how to embrace and say to my powers. I can speak to my own power. I can speak to my own uniqueness, my own abilities. And now I can seize it. Now I have access to it. I can use it when I want it in these areas of life with talking to people, work, recreation. I'm going to be me. And I'm to the point when now, when people say stuff like, somebody last week told me, they said, oh man, what did he say? He said, you like to be out front or you like attention. And I was like, in the past, years ago, before more understanding, I might would have been like, no, man, you don't know what you're talking about. you own some stuff. Get out of here, fam. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a degree. Yeah, there's a degree of that. Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm confident in it. I know how to handle it. I don't shy away from it. I can deal with that. I can be with that. But because you're expressing to me this, brother, you're really the kettle calling the pot black. That's why you can see it. That's why you can say, pew. because you it too. But I ain't gonna go there. But do you recognize that? That's why you able to see it. And it's probably that I'm shining more than you, and you want me to digress. The devil is a lie.
That's why I tell people, what did somebody asked me the other day, but the way I explained it to them was, the only thing we are we mirrors. We reflect each other. So whatever you can see in me or whatever I see in you is because it's in myself, and I know the qualities of what I'm seeing. I'm like, so like you said, my man said you like attention. Yeah, you must like attention, but it might be that you're not getting it the way that I'm getting it. So what's the real problem within the picture?
You're right. Or I'm in the way, or I don't seek you, like, you know, and people looking at me that way, and you can't handle it.
Yeah.
I literally had this brother say to me, man, you talk that diss too much. I said, what? Oh, you just done showed yourself. Here I am celebrating. That'd be like telling Michael Jordan, man, you talk basketball too much, bro. Or Bill Gates, man, you talk too much of that personal computer stuff, man. But you ain't celebrating me. You're not I'm like, you just told on yourself. You don't even realize it, fam. Damn. Okay. I see where our relationship is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Wanting me to digress something that is me, that I've taken on, that I'm in celebration of, and I'm giving the knowledge and the information away free, trying to help you. I don't want that from you. Ooh, okay. Okay. That's basically what they said.
I was gonna say, at that point, how I see that to a certain degree is that's an ego. You don't let your ego step in the door. When me and Johnny was just talking about this before we left Lee House, sometimes you gotta separate your ego. You gotta separate the ego from the man. Like, it's okay like, sometimes people let their ego get in the way of, to a certain degree, their success or going to that next level. It's almost like how my man's told you talk the diss too much. It's like, why would you down something that can educate you? Right. So it's almost like, to a certain degree, it's like almost to a certain degree, maybe it's you don't understand the language, but because of it's almost like your ego and pride, you don't want to say you don't understand that, or you don't want to be caught looking like you don't understand. So you'd rather just deflect it a whole nother way.
Not learning from that person, and that's where that pride is. Man, help me understand this, because you be talking this so much, and it's going over my head, and I've offered it.
And it's
offered the training.
It's like, help me see what you see, because I don't see the value in what you're saying so much. So just help me see it from your point of view. Yeah. People, like, that's that ego and pride people don't want to let go, to be able to, like, just be that vulnerable and say that.
And like I said, that's what actually speaks to haterism.
Mm-hmm. See, and that another thing that I learned too, I heard it from Rick Ross. It was like somebody has said, like, basically say like how you critique me, and if you might be like, well, the way that you're doing that, I don't know if you should do it that way, but here go another way. Mm-hmm. Or if you be like, I don't know if that's the right way, you should be doing that. Some people be like, oh, you hating on me. No, I've studied what you study. So since I've studied what you study, I can show you another perception of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just some constructive criticism.
Yeah, food for thought almost.
Yeah, but it's out there. Listen to it. You can refuse it if you want to, but try a different perspective. Look at it this way a little bit. That's kind of how I was training you, when you was telling me certain things you was dealing with at work, and I was like, well, look at it from this way, because when you got this understanding of this other person, you like, ooh, I didn't see that. And that's what you was saying, like, oh, I can see that. Okay, I see that now, because it wasn't there at first. I wasn't telling you was wrong. I just was like, try this.
And it's like, at that point, when you do that, that's like studying almost. It's not hate. But now, if you're not doing what I'm doing and you trying to give me criticism, now that's when it start to become into like hate almost. Like you being a hater to a certain degree.
Especially
Like,
when it's
go ahead.
offered. I mean, I hear you, especially when
Yeah,
it's offered and there is no alternative.
yeah. But basically what he was saying was, if I give you advice and it's, like you said, constructive criticism, that's not hating, that's studying. Like I've studied what you study. So now I'm trying to like almost bring our brains together to create something that would make sense to where we both can see it. We might be coming from two different ways, but we see it the same exact way.
Mm-hmm.
Versus you not even in my lane, but you trying to tell me how to drive my car.
Right. Or
That's
you ain't
hate.
even in the car.
Yeah, like you're not in the car, you're not in my lane. Like you actually going the opposite way on the highway, but you telling me like, now you might want to get in the left. That's hating to a certain degree. It's like you don't even do what I do, so you can't tell me how to do it.
And that's really right. And that's control. That's really a
Yeah,
person trying to control, and they want it to go a certain way to make them feel comfortable. And that's why when the person also said, "Man, you like attention," I was like, "Bro, look at the kettle calling the pot black. Like, are you serious? You just
yeah,
said that to me?"
yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people will say stuff like you want attention, stuff like, well, it's nothing wrong with it's
It's,
nothing wrong with absorbing attention, but when you go like seeking attention, like that's what you
yeah,
gotta live off of. Now that's when it becomes a problem.
right.
But
And
if you
that's why
just
I'm right.
yeah, if the light is on you, then it's just on you. It ain't nothing I can do about that. I can't turn the switch off. Because
Right.
even if I turn it on, somebody gonna turn it back on.
That's
I
where
mean,
you
I turn it off, they're
celebrate
gonna
the
turn it
person
on.
in that. And that's
Yeah,
where you celebrate them in that, not tell them to dim their light.
yeah,
Now, if I see how that definitely upsets you,
hmm,
I might take some care to listening to that because I don't want to be a hindrance or a stumbling block. But at the same time, you don't want to be lying to yourself.
yeah. That's just like how me and you had that discussion about to a certain degree, you don't want to be humble. You want to be grounded.
Yeah.
Because when you be humble, and I don't think people know that when somebody tell you like you need to be humble, that mean I need to dim my light for you. Nah, blood. I can. What I can do is I can be grounded and be more like, what is it? I was finna say humane, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Have more humility. Now you could tell me something
Yeah.
like that, but to tell me to be humble, that's basically telling me like, hey, bro, you shine it too bright. Nah,
Yes.
we gonna
And
shine over here regardless.
right. And it's kind of like you got to get to a place with this understanding that I need to be unapologetically me. An
Hmm.
eagle will never fly as low as a sparrow or a hawk. He's going to always fly to the best of his ability. When an eagle flies as high as he's capable of, the only other bird up there is another eagle. And when the most elite operate in the fullness of their gift, they're usually hanging with other people who have either a similar gift or they're at the pivotal of their gifting in strength and assertion and understanding. That is why Jeff Bezos now has conversations with Warren Buffett.
Perfect. Yeah.
And what's the other dude
You
that
talking
owns
about?
Facebook?
Oh, Mark Zuckerberg.
They have conversations that are almost on this level because they're at the highest of what they've learned. And some people at a lower level can't understand this.
Yeah, I get that totally. Cause what was I saying to somebody? Oh, yesterday I caught myself throwing my uh,
To Swan.
pearls among swine. Yeah. Cause what it was I found out something about what's finna go on in the stock world.
Mm.
Basically Apple finna do a 4-to-1 split,
What?
meaning, yeah, meaning that they for every one share you own, now you own four because they finna. It's basically, I want to say diluting shares, but it's not diluting because you still hold the same amount equity. It's just they can basically make their share price cheaper so other people can get in.
So it's best to start trying to buy some Apple now.
Yeah, like Apple closed. I ain't gonna say I should have got it yesterday because I seen it go down to
Friday.
403. Yeah,
Okay.
Friday. I seen it go down to 403. It shot back up to 427. What I've been noticing from watching it is like when it opens up, it drops about $10, but then it goes back up almost $10 to $20. So it's been shifting like that lately.
So
But
when are they going to do the split?
August 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. At this moment, you still can go and read like they transcripts for I think this the second quarter, third quarter.
This is third, yo.
Yeah, you can go read the transcripts for the third quarter. And when you go read their transcripts, it'll tell you exactly what they've done, how they did in the second quarter, and what they planning on doing. Well, what they done in the third quarter, what they plan on doing in the fourth quarter, and what their projections are, because they beat their projections for last quarter.
So one share is about to turn into 4.
Yeah, so if you buy one share,
how much is a
Monday,
share?
$427.36.
I'm
But
finna
if you
buy
was
me a share, bro.
that's what I said. I'm like, I wish I would have grabbed it at 403 because then it would have been more profitable now
Yeah,
before the
because
split.
it had already been $23
Yeah,
more to it, or $30, something like whatever you said.
yeah, but a lot of people, basically, if I would have bought it at 23, I would have made $24 already. But what it is a lot of people, I don't know if they don't know it just yet, but a lot of people they didn't jump on it Friday. So I know like going into
Monday
like
finna be
August,
hit.
man, going into August, it's finna go crazy.
So I already see
So
from what you told me. Soon I'm gonna buy at least the one share. Put in like $500. Buy the one share. That's gonna turn into 4 shares, still at 500, or not 500, at whatever the value is, the
no,
475 or whatever, right?
what it is, you keep the same value because when they dilute, well, it's not diluting, but when they drop the price of their shares, what it is say that the stock is at $400 when they go and do the basically when they change it around, right? So you'll still have 4 shares at $100 a piece. So you still got the same $400. The only difference is you got the same $400. The only difference is it's split up in 4 different ways. So now you're seeing it 4 times instead of just the one. Get what I'm saying?
Right. So me buying the one share
Yeah, you buying the
eventually
one share
is
now.
going to turn into I have
4
4
shares.
shares.
Yep.
All at that same valued price.
Yep. And then the
Yeah, so
thing is,
that's flipping it. That's like $500 turning into 5, 10, 15, 20, I mean $2,000.
basically, because it's like, let's say that the stock goes down to 100, but then it goes back up to 400. Well, now you got 400 for, $1,600 off of one. You made $1,600 off of $400. If you sold one share, you make your $400 back that you initially invested, and you still got $1,200.
And that would make sense. So I could sell one share and buy some stocks of something. Oh, I
Something
sell
else.
one share and buy my damn a share of Netflix.
And that's the thing. You might want to get on Netflix because they might go crazy soon.
What you mean?
Netflix.
They finna go higher?
Yes. Netflix just added like a lot of black TV shows, like Moesha, 101. They just bought the rights to like Moesha, 101, Sister, a whole bunch of black shows that people finna be wanting
So
to
they finna
watch.
get they finna get a whole lot more support. Who else has
Yeah.
done it is Hulu. Hulu got a black section now. And
Yeah.
Netflix, I watched them do it already. They was like, a tribute to Black Lives Matter, all these different black shows highlighting Hollywood. I'm sitting there like, man, I need to get my script game up and get my movie ideas that I had and see if I can start presenting these boys, because they finna start grabbing people out of the woodworks. Netflix wants scripts. They want ideas. So I'm sitting there like,
and I'm like, the other thing about it too is I don't know if they're gonna go crazy or not, but I'm gonna watch them over the weekend. Disney. What Beyonce did was she did a deal with Disney to drop her album
on Disney.
On Disney. You remember last time she did it on Netflix. She dropped her documentary, Coachella or whatever. This time she did it where she dropped like, I think it's like the visual of her album or whatever. She dropped that on Disney Plus.
Oh man.
And see, she did that. I think she did it Friday, or she did it. They put it out Friday that she was dropping it. So that way she dropping it tonight, I want to say. The thing is, a lot of, from what I was seeing from like some of the comments, some people are like, well, I'm going to just use somebody else's. But, you know, she got a nice, big, broad audience. So that possibly could make that Disney stock spurk a little bit, like go up some.
Right.
I don't know just shit. It's like so them a couple. I got a couple more stocks I could tell you about, like, what is it? I didn't invested into a few different stocks, like a few couple tech stocks lately.
Really?
I didn't invest it in, yeah, because, you know, pretty much tech is what we going into.
Yeah, that's like, all the new thing right now.
Yeah, like the one guy I'll be listening to, Wall Street Trapper, he was explaining it, and he was like, no disrespect, but this whole process of this COVID and everything, this is another wave, just like the Ice Age was a wave and everything like that. He was like,
where it made fire expensive.
Yeah,
or
he was
commodity.
like, yeah, he was like, basically what's going on is this is the casualty of war. What they doing is, to a certain degree, what's going on is we going into the next phase. Going into the next phase
of high tech.
Yeah, it's like we're going into that phase. So it's like,
oh, I know what he's talking about. How we're moving from trapping in fur to gold to wood to steel to steel. Then because I think we still in the steel age, and then now it's moving into tech.
The tech, it's moving into tech and pharmaceuticals. So he like, you got to diversify your portfolio to a certain degree so you can have. He was like, it's cool to have a couple blue chip stocks like Coca-Cola and things like that you know not gonna go nowhere, but
that's gonna be around forever. Right.
Yeah, but you still want something that gives your portfolio a little bit of growth.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, you do want to buy a share of Apple, not only because of the 4-to-1 split, but because that's a growth company.
It's a tech company.
Yeah, and they're going to be around for a minute. Just like with Microsoft. I don't know if you've seen it, but Microsoft went down. I bought me a share at $199.
What?
Yes. I'm like, I had bought, well, did I? Yeah, I had bought it because what it was, you know how you could put money into your account? A while back, I had put money into my account, and I just set the limit. Like, if it ever dropped to $199, buy me a share. I never knew that the money was still on like my Robinhood account. I thought the money was gone already. I was just paying attention to my stocks the other day, and it was like one share of Microsoft, $199. I scroll up, I'm like, I ain't spent no money. I'm like, I've been trying to make sure everything good for the wedding. I'm like, right. Where did this $199 come from? And then when I look, I'm like, oh, and it showed like where I had set that price. It was like way back in like, it was way back like when the pandemic first started type stuff.
Like in March?
Yeah, like I had set that way back. But you know, Microsoft ain't went nowhere.
Right.
Microsoft ain't really dropped down that far.
It ain't dropped and it hasn't grown. And I can tell you the reason why is because Microsoft is still in a lawsuit against Google that Google has been holding them to creating a monopoly.
Okay.
Because they got the market cornered. They own the software. They own the company that makes the software, and then their software company. So when you buy a computer, Microsoft is already on it. And then you got to download
Google
Chrome. And so this lawsuit actually keeps Microsoft from now they can develop all day, but they can't put it out in the public. And it's been put in place to keep them at a stagnation.
So they can't develop a search engine.
They can, because they got Bing. Bing is still on there. It still pop up on the thing because that was already there. That's Microsoft. But the intricacies and the details that Google has, like Google Docs and all that stuff, Microsoft ain't developed that because it's like, okay, we got Microsoft, we got Bing, but then you also got to buy Microsoft
Word.
Word and all that stuff. So that's where they like, you done created a monopoly with the information that's on there, that when they buy your computer, a Microsoft computer, it got Windows, which is Microsoft, and all this other software.
So it's like,
you're not giving us a chance. You got it monopolized.
So what they doing is they creating it to where basically they wouldn't be able to do like a Google Docs or create like we could say a Bing Docs, where they combine Word and Bing together to do the same thing Google does.
Yeah, but
gotcha.
He's not going to do that because he's already selling the Microsoft Word, and he got the computer, and sometimes it comes with it depending on the computer that you buy. So why would you want Google Docs?
True.
And then he bought other software, and this is where it really keyed in when he bought that software company. Is it not Lara? Lexa, starts with an L.
I think I know what you're talking about.
He bought that software company, and that's when Google said, wait a minute, you got a monopoly. So they took him to court, to Congress. It's still pending. It has been, they keep basically trying to sue him, so it keeps him where he can't move, because they like, we trying to get ahead of the game and catch up, but they can't, because people still buying those computers, so they can't catch up. But that's the whole thing, to allow them enough time, because I think the stipulations of a lawsuit is like 20 years. So, which got them frozen at a development. I learned this in economics class from the professor. So he's like, that's why you don't see no new developments of Microsoft. They can only develop and show you what they do have, which is Microsoft Word and stuff like that. But they can't advertise. That's part of the stipulation, that they got to stay still while this lawsuit goes through. Soon as it's lifted, you're going to see stuff coming out of the woodworks. Because everything that's connected to Microsoft, all the way even to the Xbox, this dude got the market corner. He has created not just a monopoly, but I don't know if you ever heard this term, oligopoly.
I want to say I have, but I haven't.
Oligopoly is where you got Post, you got Post cereal. What's another cereal brand?
Kellogg.
Post, Kellogg's. Dang, I can't think of the other.
Cheerio? No, Cheerio.
General Mills. Post, General Mills. Kellogg's falls up under one of the Post or either General Mills. That's just a cereal. But the company that has Post got a bunch of stuff. General Mills has a bunch of stuff. And it's somebody else. Well, anyway, if I own all of them, that's an oligopoly.
You got the whole thing tied up.
It's more than a monopoly. It's an oligopoly. Now, this what also makes it an oligopoly. When they all come together and they control the cereal market, that's an oligopoly. So, but Microsoft has his own, where he owns these different processing companies. He owns the software company, and he's the computer company. And he basically told Congress when he was being sued by Google, he said, why are you trying to sue me for just being smarter than y'all? It made sense. It made sense just to buy the company. And that where I own the company and I can produce what I want to produce.
Yeah, it's
why
like
am I being penalized for that?
It's like white develop was already being made.
That's all he did. That's all he did. Well, Google is, because Google, like,
we can't catch up.
When they buy a personal computer, it's already equipped with Bing. They have to. I don't have a platform. I don't have a computer company. You have a monopoly. And if they don't want to buy me, because I can't advertise on your stuff. I can be downloaded on it, but I can't advertise immediately like you can.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's crazy that you say that, because I remember at a certain point, Bing started to move up, then it just stopped being something that people talked about.
That's when they got sued.
Because I was going to say Bing started to, because I remember in school we used to use Bing instead of Google because Bing was a little bit quicker and easier.
It was already on the computer.
Yeah, I'm like, it was quicker, easier, and it was a little bit, I ain't going to say cleaner, but it was a
little bit more precise.
Transition. Yeah, it was like, if you put something in, like I'm trying to think of the exact words, but it's like basically when you go from one web page to another, it was a smoother transition than what Google takes when it's like you'll click on another web page, but Google take like it's a small window, but it's like 5 to 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But with Bing, it wasn't like that. It was like, it would take like a second to 5 seconds type stuff.
Exactly.
It might not be them exact numbers, but it was like a quicker transaction.
Exactly. So the lawsuit allowed them to do all the advertisement and promote themselves to the extent that they are. And it made Bing, Microsoft, they can't promote while this lawsuit is up in order to allow Microsoft to catch up. That's when you start seeing Google glasses, and now we got Google that'll drive your car. They being allowed to get ahead because they got them in a lawsuit. But it's like, he ain't never got to advertise again, and people still gonna buy a Microsoft computer.
It's like, why wouldn't they? It's like at that point, why don't you just get with somebody like Apple or Tesla?
But that's the thing. They are entities in their own, and they would want to own the company. And it's also, they don't have, not the stock, they don't have the name branding to stand on itself. Like Apple basically did it. Yeah. We got our own Siri search engine. It's our own this, our own programming, our own whatever. But they created it all within themselves. Microsoft, Bill Gates was buying up shit and said, it's mine now. Now what you want to do? Because I got more money than you. I got more power than you. Apple created theirs. All their stuff is all connected to them. They have their own store. You can't go to Play Store. It's all their stuff they own and they sell it. They got that locked in. This is our own community. Microsoft is like, nah, we want everybody's community to be ours. And watch us do it. But long story, I mean, great information. We're going to be talking for days. I want some more of that tech information, but let's get back into this part.
All right.
And so, okay. You bought that money too.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Do you, it's not really about the money per se, but
how I looked at it, it's not about the money, but it's about what the money, to a certain degree, what the money can create for you.
Yeah, exactly. Because you also have a high aesthetic, and your aesthetic, like, okay, let me back up. This big line right here is your normal. Uh-huh. So this is the normal average in the world as far as where you stand.
Okay.
And you're above the normal.
I'm gonna slide this to the side real quick.
Do what you gotta do.
That way I can see it bigger.
Okay. So this is the normal nationally, and you're up here in the 60s. So that's why it gave you that you're high, because you're above the normal.
Okay.
And you very much prefer form, harmony, and balance. You are likely a strong advocate for green initiatives and protecting personal time and space. That's you all day. I see it. And I mean, even when some of your posts on Instagram, what's up, family? I mean, you talk like a guru. You know what I'm saying? You talk like a guru that just got, he all connected to the harmony and all the different things that's going on. And you stay right there with that, and it's very harmonious and very so soothing and balanced. Like, and it's you out there in the green, you out there in the nature. The last post I seen, it was the ducks walking by. Like, that's the positive energy. That's why they around me.
Yeah, man, they keep on.
Nigga. I was like, go ahead, bro. Right, and that's truth. You speaking. So there's a tribe for that, but that's where you hold a high regard to that whole wanting to bring the harmony, form, balance, beauty. Also, it has been connected to, I don't really agree with it all the way, I mean, I can see it on both, but where they say what some of the teachings is that this is a very creative person as well, very artistic, creative, whether it's painting or music or things to that nature. That's what it said that they have. You know, a beauty for the fine music and the fine arts, the painting, the scenery, the grass, the green. They love that harmony and balance, which I see in your high S is why that is of an importance, because that high S is for support. You're a stabilizer. You keep it balanced. You don't want the problems. You want everything copacetic, everything flowing, everything all together now. Can we get along? And you hold that to high regard. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it comes out at. Now your economic, money, practical and practical results and the return. That's not necessarily always the money. It's kind of like, that's definitely part of it. But where it says here, your high drive for economic gains helps provide motivation through long projects and assignments. You can have the patience, which is in your high S, that you're patient if you can see the return. You can deal with people and deal with the different personalities or the different attitudes if you can, and be cool because you know what the bottom line return is going to be.
It's like, if I can see the value in it, then I can get behind it. But if I ain't seeing where it's any value, then that's where I would drop in my adaptive and be like, nah,
I'm out.
Yeah.
Right. So being supportive, helping people, being that type of go-to person, there's some type of economical gain that you're looking at, and that might be first. You were tied with your altruistic.
I was gonna say, is it not to cut you off, it's still recording?
No, go ahead. Yeah, it's still recording. Yeah. It's all explaining this. So next we go to, now this gets more in depth, of course, and start explaining it. And you can start to try to see why your disc shows where it shows, or how you do these things, how you solve problems, how you interact with people. Now, and I'm not surprised about the individualistic being so high. Mine was like 85. And I see yours at 71, which explains you demonstrate a high independence and project self-confidence. You're the only brother I know who is pulling off the turban.
How did I know you was going to go to the turban?
You knew it. You knew it. Because it's unique to you, which is, when we go back here, independence and uniqueness. And it's you being an individual, how you express yourself, from your physical to your verbal to your appearance. And that's important for you to be able to do it. You wear your turban at work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you like, I wish y'all would tell me not to.
Yeah.
Which also is a degree of rebellion. Because it's like, I'm going to follow your rules, but that high C in you that checks the rules, don't say nothing that I can't do that. Let's go. You find loopholes.
Yeah.
And you will exploit them to your own benefit.
I was going to say, yeah, because that's what when I did start wearing the turban, it was at the last job I worked at, but it was because they started trying to make everybody wear, man, I don't know if you ever seen me in it, these uniforms. And we're wearing these uniforms, it just made us look like we was in prison. I'm like, fam, I'm like, it didn't matter what you did. Like, if you wore your, like, say, like some of us, if you wore the overalls and you didn't have both of the straps on, they'd be like, we need both of the straps to be on. Like, if my pants is up, what does it matter?
Right. Because you're thrive, you search for the harmony, but you hold higher that individualistic, like, I'll follow the rules, but I want to do it my way, kind of like, okay, I got to wear the hat. Can I do that? I want to separate myself. I want to express how I do it, or maybe more extreme. Like, what's wrong with that? Why I got it on.
It's like, if my whole thing is we weren't put here to look like each other. We was here, like, in my mind, how I look at it is, we not here to be like one another. We here to be able to coexist, live together, but in our own unique way. And that's
Absolutely.
where we learn from.
Exactly. A fish is not supposed to be like a rabbit.
Point exactly. Like,
Period. Let's celebrate that rabbit for hopping, and let's celebrate this fish for swimming.
man, people don't be understanding it. But yeah, I get
They
it.
don't. They don't. And no. You need to be a little bit more well-rounded. You need to know how to swim, rabbit. That rabbit finna drown and die.
Damn, let that man hop on land like he's supposed to.
Right. You can't tell the fish, no, you need to learn how to, hop quick and jump. No, he finna die because that ain't his element. Now, the rabbit can come to the fish and say, hey, yo, I can't swim, but I need this letter delivered all the way upstream. Can you do that for me? I got you. How much you gonna pay me? I got $20. Boom. It's up there back in no time. Fish comes to the rabbit. You know what, man? There's some stuff across land over there on the other field. I was supposed to talk to old boy. Can you do this? Yeah, I got you. Boom. He hop over there, hop right back. Boom. Services. Paying each other for their best. Helping each other. When the fish is talking about when he comes across somebody else who say, man, I got some business over there, but I don't know how to get over there, and I can't get on land. Oh, you need to holler at my dude Rabbit. He flourishing. What Rabbit gonna do? When people talk to him about water, he gonna be like, yo, holler at my dude Fish. But we don't do that. I won't celebrate you for your power. But that's a whole nother thing. I'm gonna digress. Anyway, so the individualistic is where you have that need to be an individual, and that may not necessarily show up in the disc because they see you doing that and they say that's your character. But this is the behavior. How does the behavior come out? Because we only got the DISC. So your I to express yourself and your emotions, that's one form of you expressing your individuality in your I. I'm not saying it, but I show it. This is where my uniqueness is. This is what brings attention. And when people say, hey, that's interesting, or speak to me about it, your I think you were like in the
60.
middle. 60. So you can be charming, charismatic, you're approachable. Because what you being individual and individualistic is going to bring a degree of that. And you okay with that. You ain't in the room saying, yo, look at my turban. Ain't this fly? I bedazzled this boy. No, I'm playing these real rhinestones. I fooled you. You're not doing all of that. You just here I am, calm, cool, collective. Man, that dude look interesting in the mug. He ain't saying nothing. Yo, fam, what's going on, man? Nice, man. For real, appreciate that. Blah, 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 blah. You follow what I'm saying? You that's your way of doing it, but that's the individualistic in you that draws people to you. Now they want to know what you do. Man, I'm a life coach. Here go my card. Man, when can we sit down and talk? Money is going to come to you when you understand it, who you are. Now, this is the part, it's not alarming, but I see why your D is so low.
I was gonna say that, reading into it, I made that correlation to a certain degree.
Yeah, it's it's there, but not absolute. But there's a political, because see, a high economic could also say that's why a person's D is so high. But your D is low. Because, your D is low, but your economic is high, because out of you analyzing and out of you showing support, if this is going to benefit me, this is part of my bottom line. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. But I don't have to be in charge. You're not necessarily going to respond to problems like Michael Jordan. Yeah. You're going to analyze and look at and see where's the benefit at. And can I be me while doing this?
Yeah.
But that individual with your S and your C, methodic, you move to your own drum beat.
Yeah.
You
It's
ain't doing
almost
what
like
everybody else
that.
do.
What was it? How I seen it, because when I was looking at this, I started looking at I was looking at the Jordan documentary on Netflix, but it was just like, bro, I'm not a Jordan. I'm more of a Scottie Pippen. How he did it, let me do it my way, but let me assist you so we can win these championships.
I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I ain't got to
And
be the leader. I can be a part of it, and I can accept my role. Scottie Pippen has a low political.
yeah.
You have a low, I don't know how low, but his political is low. He ain't jockeying for the power, which is also good because it's about, if you a Bill Gates, stay Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? If you a Pippen, Jordan, then be that. But learn to embrace where you at, and that's going to bring you more security, and you don't have to apologize. Your low political, you are supportive of the efforts of the team. No hidden agendas, willing to surrender control. If the destination is getting us to, we trying to be in the double comma club, and you see the practicalness and how it's forming out, that's a level or an area where you want to try to go. These are some of the promises. You like, just point me to my seat on the train. I ain't got to be up there, you know, woo, woo. I ain't got to be that. Just where can I sit at? And let's go. Oh, you running it? All right, let's go.
Yeah, it's like, you running it, just throw me the map. I can help out.
Show me where I fit in, and I get in there, and we gonna get there even more securely. If you slip and fall, I got your back. Team, let's make it happen. High altruistic. You have a high desire to help others learn, grow, and develop, which that leads back into that where I saw your I was at with inspiring at the 60, and where your S is super supportive, and it said you were coach. So you want to learn and help people grow and develop, because that's what you about. You want to see people be their best, but not in a controlling manner. But you gonna do it the way you know, you gonna take the script and format it so it flows out of you and is you. That's what we're supposed to do with jobs. If you are gonna work in a place with knowing yourself, how can you to be the best you in this position? And make that make sense, explain it to them, and they say, okay, do it, because you're going to explain to them the economical return by allowing me to do it the way I'm doing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, this off topic, but on topic, after we done breaking this down, I got to talk to you about that place.
Okay. now you have a low regulatory. You are able to be multi-threaded problem solver, able to shift gears and projects in a flexible way. So that goes back to the regulatory, which is structure, order, and routine. A high one is very rigid, more Yours being low, as it explains, you are able to be multi-threaded, problem solver, able to shift gears and projects in a flexible way. My only warning to that would be that you don't, well, no, you won't do that. Okay. Yeah. You'll find other practical matters, because I was going to say you allow people to possibly, yeah, because in your S is supportive, but it drops. So that's where you can get out of that place of supporting a person, whether it's the money don't make sense, or you don't see how you can win, or there's no cohesiveness or no harmony in it, that can make you digress. This is a lose-lose. So boom, I'm out. And you can be passive aggressive about it, or just shut down completely. And it's you not being in your harmonious place, because the regulatory is low, where now you can problem solve, but I guess that's the part I wanted to speak to. Don't spread yourself so thin, because it's so low, and you solving all these other problems. But that part of you that's a high economic and a high individual, you're not going to be there long, because if it ain't making no dollars, it ain't making sense. And you like, okay, I'm out. So you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With that regulatory. So shift gears, projects, and then it talked about, okay, structure, order, routine. You don't like the routine that much. That job is killing you, man. Because it's so routine, it's so, and you almost a free spirit where you like the harmony and the balance, but it's like, that's confinement for you. That's like a canary in a cage.
Yeah.
You will follow the rules as far as your high C procedures and protocols and established things. You do, okay, the high low supposed to do, I ain't supposed to be speeding, I ain't supposed to be doing that. But you're looking at also at the big picture, like, this ain't where I'm supposed to be now. Mm-hmm. And now I'm confined where I had freedom, but now I really realize I don't have freedom. I'm in a damn cage. And where you have a high or a little bit above average theoretical, I think it says average. You are able to balance the quest of understanding and knowledge with practical needs of a situation. So you read for the purposes, you take in knowledge and reading for the purposes of where it can excel you to. This knowledge is either going to bring me more harmony and balance or more money.
I was going to say that speak to the book that I'm reading now.
Which one is that?
I posted it on Instagram, The Energy of Money.
Oh, ooh. And then you also read The Think and Grow Rich. Mm-hmm. You read that first before Outwitting the Devil. Am I mistaken?
No, it's Outwitting the Devil, then Think and Grow Rich.
Okay. And that's, so of course, so something is changing in you and it appeals to you. So you're reading these things because you want to acquire and have more of it. But you want to do it your way. Yeah. You want to do it your way. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think, did I skip the altruistic? Yeah, I did. High altruistic. You have a high desire to help others learn and grow. No, I did speak to that.
No, you still, yeah.
I did. So it's like, within that, this is you wanting to help people. You don't have to necessarily have the control, but you have a high desire to help people. You able to be flexible and meet them where they at. You will do the studying and the understanding to bring it to their attention. You have a unique way of how you present the information, and you're very confident, and you want to return. You want to even know if there's not necessarily money, that it helped and that it benefited, and you're looking at a balance. You're looking at a way to do this so that there's less problems and there's less obstacles in the way of presenting this and giving it to a person. Mm-hmm. And how this comes out is in your disc. That's how you express it. This is what we see, but we don't see what's underneath. So some of these,
go ahead.
So some of the adaptives are possibly being affected by these when it don't go that way. When you want harmony and somebody is acting a fool, when you want peace and balance, and they don't, care about that, and they disrupting you over something that is very minute or small, and you like, why? Oh, you a high D, you gotta have control, you aggressive, you mean. Without understanding that, it gets under your skin. And when they asking you to do something, you possibly got a little bit of, how that's gonna make me money? Doing what you asking me to do. And if it don't make no sense, why am I gonna do that? You don't oftentimes let people know that. You want the bottom line. You want to know how I'm gonna make some money in this. And if you can see it, you on board. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Do you sometimes get a little, not embarrassed, but is it hard for you to express that? Or are you comfortable with telling people, no, I got to make money in this?
No, I'll let you know that. That one, I'm not going to play with you about, because that ain't, like I was explaining to, we was having a talk earlier, me, Sparkle, and Johnny. I want to say Lee was in there with us too, but he might have been getting the girls dressed. But we was having a conversation. I'm like, like you said, my bottom line is building something for the next generation. They
Okay.
can't start off like I did. So my whole thing is, like you said, if it don't make money to a certain degree, it don't make sense. Like basically, it don't even, in all honesty, it don't even gotta be money. But if it don't brings value to me, then no, I don't want to be bothered with it. That's
Yeah.
like prime example with the wedding.
Okay.
One of my groomsmen was like, yeah, man, on your last night before you get married, I want to know if it would be okay if what did he say? If I got a stripper for you and she gonna dance on you, but she ain't gonna be touching on you and all that because I know you ain't gonna do that, and I'm gonna pay her and tell her that. I said, no, what you can do is go to the dollar store, buy me a nice card that's for $1, and put that same money that you was gonna tip her and
That
pay her to
strip
come and
money
do
in
that.
there.
Yeah, and put that in there and give it to me. I said, that right there would mean more to me than you doing that, because with you doing that, you disrespecting me. You know what I
And
stand
your
for?
wife, and you know
Yeah.
what I stand for.
I'm
So
like,
really, are you doing this for you, not me?
and that's what I said. I'm like, you know what we stand on this side. So you disrespecting everything that we didn't construct it. So with that being said, I would prefer to you to just take that money, put it in a card, and give it to me, and then I can use that for either my honeymoon, invest it, anything that will bring me a return. I'm like, because that right there, that's wasting money, bro. And no, I'm not finna waste money, and I'm not finna disrespect myself.
Right,
So
because right. So, and that's telling people how you want to be treated, and he'd have did better by not telling you and just doing it, and you'd have been shocked and surprised, but you probably would have been upset, definitely. But when he's asking you, and you know yourself, and you break that down, that's like, ooh, okay. Now the trick in that is that when he respect that, okay, you got a good one. That's a good homie. If he says, "Oh man, bump that," does it anyway? Yeah, bro. I see the extent of our relationship, and I'm finna get this long 10-foot pole.
oh, I already been preparing that. I'm like, yeah,
Right, right.
because even like on our drive down there, what was we talking about? I wasn't really even talking. I was just driving, but I was just hearing like the conversation and how he was expressing things. I'm just sitting there like, dog, you tripping. And even my younger cousin was in the car with me, and he like later on that night we was getting ready to eat, and as we sitting down preparing our food, he was like, man, I want to holler at you about something. Like, what's up?
Oh Lord, you was upsetting him.
He was like, no, I didn't say nothing. I
I
was
mean,
just
not you.
driving.
The other dude was
Yeah,
upsetting him.
but
Yeah.
he was like, man, what is my man's on? He sound retarded. And I'm like, cuz only 15. I'm like, if this man can see that, you need to do some looking in the mirror and some reevaluating. I'm like,
Dude,
that's a
he he
15-year-old.
he seriously need a life coach. That's what he
I'm
need.
like, this is a 15-year-old, and like,
He
and
already
this
know
man,
you slipping.
yeah, I'm like, and this man is all about having fun and all that, but he looking at you sideways. I'm like, that tells you something, sir.
Right. Which also sheds a light, Darrell, on why certain people I mean, one or two things you got to be careful of, and you know this. As your status changes, as your marital status changes, and your financial status changes, some people with that ignorance can be more of a detriment. And it's like what I went back to the earlier, and it's a very hard balancing act to find yourself in, is when you fly as high as an eagle, and it sounds like the 15-year-old dude might be an eagle in training, and then you got somebody else in your circle who is a sparrow, and you flying at eagle you can't fly at eagle level when you got a sparrow, and you having to break things down like that, and they're around you. And when you made that expression earlier, I found myself casting pearls before swine. Bruh, that's the knowledge you giving. Sometimes your behavior, your presence is casting pearls before swine. And I'm
And
not
that, go
saying
ahead.
you better than them, but your presence.
Yeah.
Where's your You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I already get what you're saying. That's why to a certain degree, I already been plotting on it in my head. Like when I tell you I've been analyzing a lot lately, like getting closer to the wedding and just seeing like, basically even listening to what Sparkle and them said, like some of the people that like basically you asked to be in the wedding at a certain point in time,
They ain't
as it get
there.
closer, yeah, as it get closer and closer, you start to look and be like, dang, I should have had such and such and such and such. Because I told
What
Johnny
was I
today,
thinking?
man, I told Johnny today, I said, literally thinking about it, I'm like, and I even told my fiance this. If it wasn't so late into the wedding, I would have asked Lee and Johnny to be in the wedding.
Right. Man, I would have loved to been in it.
That's what I would have asked y'all. I'm like, that would have been it right there.
I'd
I'm
have been
like,
like,
just,
yeah. I'd have felt
I'm like,
honored like, come on, like, nigga, I get the, man, thank you.
I'm like, just thinking about it. Cause I was like, cause we was talking about like my wedding, Lee and them wedding, Johnny was like basically what's the biggest headache? I said, the people. I
Always,
said,
yeah.
if you have the financials in place and you know what your budget is and you know what you can afford and you know what it is that you and your spouse is looking for, you and your woman looking for. I said, once you already know that going into the process. You've already then set yourself up to know that. Now, what you didn't set yourself up for is the people that's going to be in place with you. Like the people
Trying
that
to
you want,
impose what they think you need.
like I
And I
told him, I
done told
said,
you what I want, and you trying no, that ain't no. You want to
I,
go with the diamond stuff. Wait a minute,
I
I
told,
told you we about nature. We want trees. No, I'm telling
man,
you, be looking
I
around like, wait a
told,
minute. That's why so many people be like, yo, baby, let's go to Vegas. They elope.
bro, it takes away from the headache. Cause like I told Johnny, I'm like, I know some people probably think through this process I done been cold, but it's not I done been cold. It's just I'm not finna allow you to play with my time.
You
Like,
know what you want.
yeah, I'm like, I know what I want. I know what I'm paying for, and we already had a conversation expressing everything, and we already had that lining of understanding. So once you start to almost cross over to a whole like into the gray area where you're not in agreement with what we doing no more, at this point in time, I'm gonna have to just leave you there and let you do what you do. And then in time, if I can help you to understand like what it was there, like where you made your mistake at, we can do that. But if not,
And some stuff is experience now, and that
yeah,
also, that they got to grow through. The other part, I'm gonna share something which I want you to write this down.
ready for you.
FAT.
F-A-T.
Write it like this. Go. Write it parallel.
Oh, that's how I was doing it.
FAT. Good. Oh, see there, you think just alike. Great minds. Now, right across from it, I want you to write with the F, faithful. With the A, available. With the T, teachable. If you don't know what, now there's facets to it. Every person that you should want to come across your table that you're going to be counseling has to be fat. They have to be faithful, available, and teachable. Faithful to their cause, to their goal, to their mission, that they're, I want you to be my coach. Then, okay, these are the times we said we're going to meet. They're faithful to it. They're faithful to themselves, faithful to their surroundings. They're wanting to be more faithful, because all of this with the power assessment, with this, the values, is so that you can become more authentic to you. Be faithful to you. And don't sacrifice it or compromise in it. With faith comes truth. So they have to be faithful. Available, they know how to make the time for it. They don't squander your time. They are available, even if you look up the definition, to be able to be utilized, available, called upon. when they can be and when they can't be. But you have to be able to know yourself and respect that. So, but if I say I'm gonna be here at 2, then I'm there at 2, not 2:15. If you know you're gonna be late, you done hit me at 1:25 to tell me I can't make it. But that is still speaking to the availability. And you needing to know yourself. Teachable, almost self-explanatory. There's no pride in this. I don't care who it is that's teaching me this. I can recognize a teachable moment. I don't have to be humble or show humility. That's something that I am. So I am teachable. Even to, if it was a man who was homeless and was trying to drop some nuggets on me, I am teachable. I see, which has to do with humility and being humble, because he's trying to tell me not how to be on that ground where he's at, sleeping under the bridge in that cardboard. He say, go to school, you better carry your ass to school.
It's funny you say that, because when we was playing basketball the other day, this older guy stopped by and started talking to me. And all I was doing was just, like, I was waiting on them and I was laying the ball up. And he was like, I see you working on your left hand, young fella. Then he got to talking to me and telling me, like, a little bit about his past. And, like, he just started talking to me. I just sat there listening. Everybody else looking like, bro, why is you talking to this man?
Teachable.
I'm like, he giving me information that I can't get from nowhere else.
You
it's
teachable,
a reason why he's talking to me.
Exactly. That's being teachable, is in tune with the know when the knowledge is coming their way. And not just that, then it's also you not casting your pearls before swine. Because people will tell you if they teachable.
Yeah, because the reason I said I know I was casting my pearl amongst swine is because the same information I just gave you about Apple, I told another dude.
Bro, I wrote that down.
Yeah, it's a black guy that I work with, and me and him was talking about Robin Hood the other day. So I had pulled up on him because he a union rep now. So when I seen him, I pulled up on him, and I'm like, man, this is something that you should know. I'm like, do your own research, look into it, just in case if I got something misconstrued from the information I learned. You can even sharpen, iron sharpen iron. You can update me on what I had wrong, and that way I could be right. So he like, all right, what's going on? So as I'm talking to him, I'm like, first thing that made me, like, gave me a red flag was I pulled up on him and I said, I got some information for you. He was like, what, you an informant now? And started laughing. I'm like, look, you want to joke and I'm trying to help you get some money. I'm like, I know we joke all the time, but come on now. Like, I got a serious face at this moment. You know I ain't playing. Right, so I'm like, all right. So then as I'm explaining to him what's going on, he like, hold on, ain't Apple at like $700? I'm like, that's not the point, sir. $700, $200, $1.69. Either
you
way,
buy one, sacrifice, it's finna turn into 4 $700s.
I'm like, do you or do you not have money in the bank that you just letting sit there? Like, what?
Like, you ain't even got to know that. I'm just giving you some information that can help you potentially. You do what you will with it. And you gonna show me if I'm casting pearls before swine, right along with all the other. Like, this is out of his league. This is that. It's like, you know what? That's the impossible thinker who cannot be turned into a possible thinker. Because exactly all they got is limitations.
I'm like, something limited you playing, I'm gonna just let you be, because
right.
I ain't got time. I'm trying to get to this money because I'm
finna pull together and scrap something to do this so it'll turn around. I'm serious. Like, I'm gonna pull a few. I got some income tax money. I got some money saved up. I'm like, boom, boom. I'm gonna pull from this and this and get that one share so it can turn into 4. Then get my money back and put that back in those spots, and now play with this other 3 of the 3 shares I got. And I'm like, well, it's still 4, but then 3. I'm good. I leave that for the rest. Man, please.
But the other thing I'll say to you is the reason, like, this all tying in to what we're talking about now. The reason I said I had to tell you about GM, because I'm like, yeah, I had to sit down and have that conversation with my fiance. I'm like, what if next year I just, walked away from it all? Like, I just let GM go, and I'm like, because before I go there, me and Lee, I've been talking to Lee about getting my either my inspector, like becoming an inspector, or an appraiser. I have been
Okay.
like studying up on information about it, learning about it, and I'm like, I didn't know which one would be better to be. And he like, either one, man. He was like, you can. He was like, in all honesty, you an hour out of your day with an inspection, you can make 3,500. I mean, not 35, but $350 an
I was
inspection.
just finna say, yeah,
And
that's
I'm like,
$350. Walking through a house, looking at it, appraising it, driving around the block, looking at the other houses, what the last one sold. You shoot the
yep.
numbers to him, you just got $300.
And he was like, that's here, like you do that on the appraiser, like breaking down the comps, which you already know how to do. He was like, or if you go in and inspect the property, which working with me, you already know how to do. He was like, so either one you do gonna be good. He was like, it's just on which route you want to take. And then me and him was talking about like, with being an appraiser, you can be a self-employed appraiser, but most of them work through a bank because that's what's being financed.
Yep.
Like
So
that's what
you can get
financing
that
like.
contract. Yep.
Yeah. He was
As
like,
well as
or
with the mortgage company, the bank, as well as with the title company.
exactly. And then he was like, with being an inspector, it's not you can be more freelance, but it's like basically you can get people can call you up and have you come inspect the property versus with the
Without
appraiser.
going through a mortgage company.
Yeah, versus with the appraiser, it'll be more of like, to a certain degree, it's like a systematic point of like a systematic way almost,
Yeah.
because like they got to go get financed. After they finance, then they call you. Then after they call you, then you do your job. Then you get paid.
So the inspector might be more beneficial because you can also advertise at that level, so that way
Exactly.
your advertisement or Instagram and all that stuff that you're letting people know that you can be called upon,
And that's what I was
and
thinking. I'm
then
like,
charge even more depending on the area and the conditions or your availability.
and then the thing is, I looked it up. It's only the lowest that they charge in Michigan is $250, but on average, everybody charged $350.
So you
So
can
I'm
pick that
like,
how you want to do. Plus, right along with you, as you're getting more skillful into the
with the life coaching.
wholesale flipping. No, I was going to still stay
Oh,
right there with the wholesaling, the flipping, the lease option. It just makes you that much more valuable when you're doing that or teaching other people about it, that I'll inspect your house for you, the one you
and
finna
then
buy.
that's the thing. I'm like already working with Lee and everything. That boom, there go clientele right there. Cause Lee like, you know what? I got an inspector I could give a call to, and he could come in and do X, Y, and Z. I'm
Now,
boom.
reason why I'm speaking to that, because now here's the conflict, possible
Okay.
conflict.
Oh, because I'm already on the team. Conflict of
No, no,
interest.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no, 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 no. It's definitely because you're looking at this. You're trying to secure the bag and you're making the money. Flipping the houses, wholesaling, I'm sorry, or any of that knowledge is going to help you gain more security, because I've been listening to Jamal as well, Jamal
uh-huh.
King.
I
I
heard.
got a
I listen to him
house.
too.
Okay, so I got a house, I know lease option, and I got a house that paid. I got a house and got tenants in there, and that pays my cell phone or it pays my car note. So I
Mm-hmm.
got a house almost for every bill. That's what he kind of started off with. Then it branched into 70 houses. Then it branched into these houses pay for everything that he got or things that he want to do. And now he's a multimillionaire. So anyway, and that's what he concentrates in, and that's his lane. You learning this skill side of this coaching, something that is so natural to you, and all the facets of it. ET said every person with their gifting is basically an ATM machine. I agree with him, but I'll take it a step further. We are actually a mint. You can create as much money as you want in this field as being a life coach. I mean, six figures to
Mm-hmm.
huh?
No, I said, uh-huh.
Where you can make six figures in this with a few people. And go from, I'm looking at it, going from $500 a month with a person to teach them the business to where eventually it is $5,000 a month. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or $500 or $500 a week. You hear what I'm saying? It has that exponential potential without limitations as the more you build and the more as you grow. The inspection is definitely a side job of bringing you X amount of dollars, but the growth comes from how many different houses you're inspecting and the hours at a time that you're doing that versus how many sessions are you having that can bring you $250 a day for an hour in the comfort of your home, to where that session eventually can get to $500 a session, 6 figures, double comma club from coaching. Looking at the timing of everything with the COVID, this field is you and I, me putting you onto it is like you giving me the stock to Apple. But we're at the bottom rate of, hey, Netflix just popped on. It's only $1.50 a share. How many shares do you want to buy that's going to potentially turn you into a millionaire in the next 5 years or next 2 years, depending on just how hard you go? I mean, you quit your job and it's 24/7. December of next year, bro, you can be telling me, bro, I'm in the 6-figure club. The next year is I'm projecting double comma club. And we're at the cusp of it because of the pandemic, the COVID has a lot of people. I need some help. What do I do next? How do I prepare for something like this? How were you able to do it? What insights and understanding can you give to me that I didn't know about me? Why was I such a frantic at this? So you got life coaching skills as well as assessment skills that there is no limit to. But I'm going to devote some study time. I ain't saying don't do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at, okay, you got a high economic. That can bring me some money. That can boom, boom, boom. But just what Lonzy knows, without him being a realtor, he's a realtor, but he don't use it. It's kind of like what E.T. said. I got a PhD, but I don't use that. The PhD ain't making him no money. What he do on stage, the coaching, the speaking, the books, that's what makes him money. The PhD is for some prestige or people to say, woo, okay. But
that's what look good.
Right, it looked good. But Les Brown did it without that. This brother was getting $450,000 an engagement, bro. He started off making $250,000 an engagement for an hour and 15 minutes speaking to 1,500 people. Then he got a hold of somebody. His story is on there. Then he got a hold of somebody, or they got a hold of him and told him, bro, you wasting your time. He said, what? Young man, I made $250,000. But for you to come at me that bold and tell me something like that, show me what I'm missing. That dude showed him how to make $450,000 an engagement and only speak to 500 people for the same hour. Les Brown said he got sick. And they was like, why you sick? He said, because I realized how much money I left on the table because I didn't know this information. And we're at a position in life with this pandemic and the loss and people trying to find something alternative. I don't never want to be in a position that if something stopped the market, my job sends me home and I am in jeopardy of losing my home because I can't work. I need something else. Oh, you might need a life coach. You might need to learn how to do this business. I can teach it to you. I'm just saying, this is like getting on the ground when Netflix started, when Amazon started. This is the groundwork of it, bro. And the sky is the limit to where you want to go. I'm not telling you not to be an inspector. I just know that if you put all of this into this, what you're doing, you're going to be like, eventually, Why the hell did I become an inspector? That don't make no sense. I mean, I can benefit from it. I can inspect my own house. I ain't got to pay that dude another $350 to do it, but I got the money to pay him. And it don't matter. Spending $350 is $3.50. I'm just saying. Sometimes we can, and I learned this. God has told us to utilize the gift that we have. And when you grow that gift, it becomes, you will become stress-free in life. Money is not an object. Entertaining ideas or situations or being able to go, it takes so much pressure off of us because that was never his intent, to have us under pressure. To have us weren't worrying about where my next meal coming from. Am I going to get put out of my house? Am I going to eat? He was like, no. And it's right in his word. The world will make room for your gift. I'm telling you, go ahead and do it. If that's what you feel, it can be a benefit to the team and Lonzy. Absolutely, bro. But to the world, and the gift that you have of insight, tell me how many more people you gonna help versus, I mean, think about
the
it.
inspector.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And we can, and if you, like your high economic, you looking for the gains. Like I was telling Lonzy, I said, Lonzy about that money. He ain't did his yet. I bet he got a high economic. Lonzy want that money in that whole nine. But Lonzy, with his high eye, he can be very distracted. I gave him the formula to his module. He gonna be mad that I'm talking about him, but it doesn't. Anyway, he ain't gonna be mad. He be all right. But it's all for learning. A year ago, I helped him see his modules, the 7 steps. He has from then broken it down and how to utilize it. I'm like, woo, that's perfect. So you got 7 exit strategies, and you're using the other 6 steps to attach to it. So you actually have 7 strategies that can be sold separately, all based off me giving him the blueprint. And he was able to go, oh, here go the 7 plan, but the 7 extra strategies are elements in themselves. So if you want to do wholesale, you still got to learn how to get your LLC, how to set that up. Then that's step 1, then step 2, 3, 4, 5, just to be a wholesaler. To be lease option, you still need step 1, 2. You still got to get your Laura. You follow what I'm saying? So I gave him the one blueprint. He was able to divide it up. But this was the problem. He has so many great ideas. He never finished the first module. So we out here selling. We're talking great things. His module of the wholeness is not complete. And I was like, Negro, I just realized it's been a year and you're not done. I thought you finished. So when he come to me with an idea, I'd be like, is your module finished? My bad. He'll hang up. I don't hear no ideas until your module finished, bro. Now I'm in coach mode. Like I said, my bad. I thought you was done. I guess I got to get back to coach. Coach got to keep you with that left layup and that right layup. Quit trying to shoot threes. Your game down low. That's what we finna develop, that you unstoppable down there. Once you unstoppable down there, then we might go out to the, not the perimeter, to the top of the key. No, not top of the key. We might go to the free throw line. You under the basket, now we the free throw line. Once that's developed, then we might get out to the threes. But our main thing is the main thing. Keep that the main thing. Because when we were doing that presentation, somebody said, man, I'm at ground zero. I don't know nothing. And I was like, oh, I should tell them if Lonzy is finished with his module, he can sell them the module that starts from ground zero. Get the LLC, set up the company name, how you want to, boom, 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 all those ground zero type things. But I was like, I can't say nothing or throw that in there because I don't know if it's module done. Then so afterwards we get to talking. I said, bro, is your module done? He said, no. I said, nigga, you know how much money you just left on the table? Because it was two people right there. Hey, it usually costs $2,000, but for a cool $1,000, I'll give you from ground zero the module. And you tell me which one of the 7 exit strategies. And I was like, bruh, it's been a year and you not finished? Why are we even doing this seminar? We shouldn't even be doing it because the foundation ain't finished pour. I was like, oh. No, bruh. All I'm saying to you in the same thing, make the main thing the main thing. Yes, it's going to be other things that are very attractive, that are very possible. But looking at it from, that'd be like General Ford. Ooh, I see the assembly line and how I'm going to be able to mass produce cars. But before I mass produce cars, I see how I can start making airplanes. You can make some money making airplanes, but what is your damn thing? What's your main thing? Let's get that boy solid. Then let's go ahead and inspect. Like, but I'm still saying maybe I ain't saying no, because you on 2 teams right now. But what is the ultimate goal? And that's what I was looking at with Lonzy. Like, bro, we gotta, because you a high C, you ain't super high, you 60, and you got these ideas like, ooh, I see another way I can make money. Bro, I'm as your coach. What is the main thing? What is the damn thing? Keep that boy the thing. Get that down low, left hand, right hand, golden. And watch what happens. It's like Dennis Rodman. I'm sorry I'm beating this into your head, but I'm beating a dead horse. But Dennis Rodman's like, okay, I may not be the greatest shooter, but can't nobody get a rebound like me. That nigga practiced rebounds. I heard him say he knew exactly from what angle Isaiah would shoot from, Bill Laimbeer would shoot from, Joe Dumars would shoot from. He knew from whatever angle on the floor that they shot from, he knew the possible projection of the ball to get a rebound. I'm like, that's some, woo! That nigga he goes down in history as the best rebounder. You know, Jordan, you can get the points, but I get to second attempts, third attempts, fourth attempts. We keep the ball on this side of the field all night long. Because he dissected that boy. You dissect this, you a guru, bro. You a guru. Your book is there. That's when I said you become a mint. Your book is there. Your coaching is there. Your engagements to speak is there. It's so many facets, because that's what I'm looking at. You're going to be expectant, and that's great. But eventually, somebody going to ask you to come inspect the house, and you're going to be like, man, I got a speaking engagement in Florida, and I'm out here talking, or I'm on Zoom. I can't come inspect the house. You're going to be looking at inspecting 350, speaking engagement just gave me 3,000. Tell me which one you going to pick with your high economic.
I get where you're going. I'm be honest with you, my whole reason of thinking that way is because, bro, I got to get out of GM.
I know.
It's not only that, like how you said, it's killing me inside. It ain't even that. It's just, bro, that's not the environment for me.
I know, like, Doc. I know. Trust me, nigga, I've been wanting to quit for the last 6 months.
No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying like bro, it is ruthless in that thing.
I know.
Like,
I mean, I can imagine. I worked in the shop before. I see it.
Yeah, I'm like, man, like my whole thing, I just explained it to Johnny. I almost had to cuss somebody out the other day. No, I don't cuss people out, but it was just.
Oh, they really got under your skin.
Yeah, but it was what she did. I was minding my business, doing what I normally do, say hi to everybody working, and out of nowhere, shorty know that I'm getting married and everything. I even told my fiance, and she laughed. And she was like, they ruthless in there. What did this girl say to me? As she was driving past, she was like, real. And I'm like, what's up? She like, I like you. I'm like, don't you ever disrespect me like that in your life again. Like, you almost just got ran over with this high-low.
For just saying she like you?
Nah, it wasn't like I like you as a person. It was like some whole other stuff.
Oh, like
And I'm like,
she said I like you and was doing this.
all that type of, yeah, like she was on that. I'm like, fam, you know, I'm getting married at the end of this month.
Yes, nigga.
And like,
you should be happy at that.
It's like, how I take it is that's disrespectful. Like,
true, it is.
If you know what I got going on, you know, like you didn't literally had a conversation with me. You, to a certain degree, you can see my mind state and how I move.
Is
don't
she
disrespect
married?
me like that? No. But I understand that. But I'm like, don't disrespect me like that.
Darrell, let that woman be a coffee pot. You can't expect her to be the Keurig stove, all appliance man that you are.
That's why
that's why she's looking at you like, nigga, you a house. I want my coffee pot in your house.
That's why I ain't go all the way that way. And I just looked at her and just drove off. And then, like, I think from the way I looked at her, like, she ain't said nothing to me since. So I think she know, like, yeah, I was tripping.
She totally disrespected herself, bro.
Yeah. But
she ain't disrespect you. She disrespected herself. Because you weren't available. That's when, bruh, you really got to get into this, more of this disassessment or the understanding of it, and in that counseling position that you're going to fall into. There are a lot of hurting people out here, man. And they don't have, like her, she don't have that. And she see it. And it's like desperation, thirsty. How can I get it? It happens. It's going to happen. That's like Adam and Eve. The devil's job is to tempt. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. So why we mad at what the devil's supposed to do?
No, it was just at that moment I was highly, what is that word I'm looking for?
Indignant?
No. I was highly insulted.
Okay, was she ugly?
In all honesty, I don't be.
Man, you better tell the damn truth and shame the devil. She must have was ugly.
I don't pay attention to people.
Yeah, you do.
Literally, I'm telling you.
You pay enough attention. You know if a monster walk by, you be like, nigga, Ron, that's a lion.
Except a monster. No, but it's just my whole thing to it is,
Rail,
and this is what I explained.
Be honest, bro. Was she ugly?
I'm being honest with you.
Yes or no?
I'm being honest with you. I don't pay
explain after you say you can admit to the truth. You said we about the truth. Was she appealing to you? Was she, in your eyes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder? So was she ugly to you, or unappealing, unattractive? Was she that to you?
Yeah, but the thing is, this is where it comes from.
See, I gotta stop the recording. Hold on, bro.
Go ahead.
Because we owe some other stuff.
Yeah, what it is